Hi guys, just a quick one here in post. I just wanted to say I forgot to mention it. Um, in the last few days, we've heard of the passing of Sir Everton Weekes. He is one of the best West Indian cricketers of all time. Frank Worrell, and Clyde Walcott. They made the three Ws, who were a famous trio in the late 40s, 50s of West Indies cricket. So I just wanted to say, rest in peace, Sir Everton Weekes. You won't be forgotten, mate. You've left a great mark on cricket, especially in the West Indies.
Queensland! It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! What about that one? Costello! Unbelievable! Balotelli! Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle. Oh, the ball is close! He's given him! He's given him! Peter Siddle's got a hat-trick on his birthday!
Welcome to the On The Ball podcast. Thank you once again for joining us. This is episode 32 of the show. It's actually been a little bit since you've been on, but we're joined by Pilch once again. Welcome, mate.
Thanks, mate. How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. How have you been this week? It's probably the least we've talked in a week ever, I reckon. Ever. For like 2 years, I reckon. We've hardly talked this week, actually.
Yeah, I suppose we haven't. Still talked a bit, though.
Yeah, but yeah, we've probably talked as much as the normal amount, but we normally talk a bit like a weird level. A weird volume of messages get sent between Pilch and Cork. But yeah, I'm gonna do this at the start this time because I always do it at the end, and I'm aware that I'm sure a lot less people listen in the last minute. So if you're listening, go check us out on YouTube as well, and then vice versa. If you're watching on YouTube, go check us out on Spotify and the other listening platforms, and go get around us on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, thanks for that. Today we are going to be discussing the upcoming cricket series, the Wisden Trophy, as it's called, between England and the West Indies. How are you feeling about this one, mate?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, mate. It's good to have some cricket back in our lives. So
no word of a lie. I legit just saw this on Twitter. Apparently, Foxtel wasn't going to show it. They didn't have the rights to the game.
Oh, really?
So we were just going to not be able to watch it. And then, but they changed. They somehow, I don't know what they've done, because some bloke he sent a tweet to Foxtel saying, "Are you showing this?" And they said, "Unfortunately, we don't have the rights." And then they replied to that like a couple hours ago saying, "There's been a change. We now have the rights." So,
mate, that would have been outrageous if they weren't showing it.
Mate, I would have been that shattered. I'm actually keen for this. Like, normally I probably wouldn't be too bothered about England West Indies Test series. I'd probably just check, the scores every day. But like, I'll generally be watching this, I think.
Yeah, as long as we can, as long as the time zone permits.
Yeah, so pretty excited for that. So the first test is on the 8th of July, which is next Wednesday. It starts at 8 p.m, so we'll probably be able to catch the first two sessions, maybe the first session and a half, depending on your bedtimes. We're the first one's at Southampton. I think that's the Rose Bowl, pretty unusual stadium. So it's a 3-test series, and then they roll into, I'm assuming, another 3-test series against Pakistan, but it might be 2. But I don't think they do 2-test series in England. So today, what we're going to be doing, it's kind of in between. We're not necessarily predicting the 11s for each team. We're kind of saying who we think should be the team, but it's also a bit of what they're going to pick. So we're going to be saying our 11s, and then we're going to be making predictions on the series score and like who's going to be the top run scorer for each side, top wicket taker for each side, and so on and so forth. So just going to be a pretty chilled chat. We're just going to explore what the series is going to have and hold for us as Test cricket makes its return. I was actually saying this to my family the other day. I know it's like winter in Australia and New Zealand, but it's pretty weird that this is the first cricket coming back, because it's like cricket, there's no tackling or anything. You're basically social distancing when you're playing. The only time people come within 2 meters of each other is like when the batsmen talk in between overs, or like first slipping the keeper, maybe.
Or when the bowler whizzes one
Runs
past your chin and then comes right up to you, gives you a bit of a lip.
He can still lip you off from 3 meters. But yeah, so like it's kind of bizarre that it's taken this long for cricket to come back. And it's kind of weird that it's coming back in England first because like the situation's obviously a lot less worse in Australia and New Zealand, but that is because it's our winter. But yeah, so I think we should start with the England team. You are an England fan in most sports, but especially cricket.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we'll be mainly focusing on the England team. We also have done a bit of research on the West Indian team, but they've already named a 15-man squad, so it doesn't take too much work to narrow it down to an 11-man shindig. But because England are the home side, they've not really had to pick a squad, have they? I think they announced a 30-man squad, but that was just for training purposes because obviously they're not going to get 100 people training when, you need to be social distancing and stuff. So there was a 30-man squad. They're currently in the process of a match, which isn't ideal for this team selection because both teams have batted in their first innings, so the second innings could come into play for some people's chances of getting picked. So there's Stokes is captaining a team and Butler's captaining a team, and they're playing each other right now. But yeah, so who are you rolling with for the opening batsman?
For the Poms, I'm hoping that it's gonna be Sibley and Burns to open the innings.
Yeah, that's exactly who I've gone for. So openers is probably where England's spoiled with the most choices. Not necessarily the greatest choices.
Yeah.
But you've got Sibley and Crawley. They opened in the last test of the South African series. Rory Burns played in that series, but I don't know if he got dropped for bad form or he was injured, but he didn't play the last 2 tests. He also has been the opener in the last 12 months. He opened, obviously, well, most people listening would know that he opened against Australia in the Ashes last winter. And then the other people in the squad who could be candidates are Keaton Jennings and James Bracey. Joe Denley's also done a bit of opening, but he didn't really factor into my consideration.
Yep. Bracey I saw scored a tidy 80 odd in the
I think he scored 86.
Match.
Yeah. The only player to score a 50. It's probably been the most England match of all time. Everyone's just scored 30 and 40.
Didn't Lawrence get a 50?
Oh, yeah.
58 or something?
Scored 6. Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah.
Pretty low scoring.
It's pretty standard England stuff. Everyone just making starts, no one going on with it. But yeah, so what made you think of Sibley and Burns being the best option?
Well, Crawley, I like Zach Crawley as well, but I think Burns has a bit more experience, and Dom Sibley just got a test average of 41, so which was a lot better than I thought when I was looking up the stats.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a bit of a no-brainer, and also they batted Crawley at 3, I believe, in the scratch match, and he did pretty well.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a spoiler for my.
Good to see we've picked the same team, mate. Good to see we've picked the same team. So similar to you, I just think Burns, although he kind of fell out of a bit of form late last year, I think he was really probably arguably England's best batsman next to Stokes in the Ashes last year.
Yeah.
He was really impressive against a good few seamers that Australia have, and I just think he deserves another crack at it. And then, I don't think you can, even though West Indies aren't the highest quality team, I don't think you can roll them with Crawley and Sibley at the top. I'd like Burns in there, and then basically just came to a choice between Crawley and Sibley. And Sibley, he's played more tests, but he's showed more in the glimpses that he's, put on for us spectators. I think he scored 133 in the second test against South Africa or something like that. And then, apart from that, to be honest, he's been a bit of a Joe Denley, just scoring 30s and 40s. But I guess that's better than 0. So, especially early on in your test career. So, I definitely think Sibley. For me, I think Sibley is the guarantee.
Yeah, agreed.
I think England will 100% pick him, and then the other Rory Burns is a little bit up in the air, but we'll see how that goes. However, as you did say, Keaton Jennings, he's 100% out of.
Yeah, Jennings has not got going at all.
Yeah, he
poor
is.
Man.
Yeah, he hasn't been great in any tests since those Sri Lankan and Indian performances he put on like 3 years ago. But yeah, Bracey. The only chance Bracey has, I think, is if he comes out and scores a ton in the second innings of this practice match. I think if he came out and scored another big one, I think it would be hard to deny someone pumping out 86 and then 100. Like, although he's kind of come out of the blue, didn't even have a great first class average. I think it would be hard to just not roll with an informed man, which would be pretty stiff for Rory Burns, I'd say. But it wouldn't surprise me. It would be a ballsy selection, but I think it would be wise just to go with someone who's in form. But in saying that, the teams are so unfair in that match. Like the team Bracey was facing Jimmy Anderson. Yes, one of the best bowlers of all time. But apart from that, he was facing like Saqib Mahmood, Craig Overton, and stuff. Whereas the other team was facing like Broad, Archer, Wood, Wokes. It's like, how is this fair? But yeah, anyway, so I think we've both got Burns and Sibley, but yeah, a little question mark next to Bracey because if he goes well tonight, who knows? He could be a little bit of a bolter.
Yeah.
So as Pilch was talking about before, Crawley, he mentioned Crawley being at 3. The reason Joe Root's not there, his wife or partner is giving birth, so he's missing the first test. In his place, Ben Stokes will be captain. I think it's the first time he's ever captained. But yeah, so congratulations to Joe Root, I guess. But yeah, he'll be out of contention. So we've got to pick someone to fill his spot. The people batting at 3 in this practice game right now are Zach Crawley and Joe Denley. It would not shock me if they go out and pick Joe Denley, but I'm sick of him. I am so sick of him. He just scores 30 every innings. Even in the practice match, I think he scored 42 or something. It's like, come on, mate. Like, people used to bag out Watson for making 90s all the time and Michael Slater back in the 1990s for getting caught in the 90s. But it's like, you'd rather be scoring 90s than 30s. So I think, and this is the kind of rubbish where Joe Denley, he'll come out and score runs against West Indies and then he'll just be in the side for another year and do nothing. Like, he's actually becoming the Shaun Marsh of English cricket, where he just kind of does one good performance every 6 months and somehow stays in the team. But yeah, I think they've got to cut ties with Denley. He did bat at 3 in the last test in South Africa. But yeah, for me, I would like to see Zach Crawley given a crack at 3, albeit if it's just for one test. Are you going with the same?
Yeah, well, I hope to see Crawley at 3, but there's also a chance with Root being out that they play both of them and have Denley at 4. But yeah, I'm favouring.
Yeah, that is definitely a chance.
I'm favouring Crawley over Denley personally.
Yeah, I want to see Crawley. It has to be said, I'm rolling. We'll discuss number 4 in a sec, but I'm rolling with a very inexperienced top 4. So I guess there would be a fair argument of putting Denley in there just to, be a bit of an anchor. But I don't see why you need him to be an anchor if you're just going to score 30 runs. So yeah, I want to see Zach Crawley given a crack. He's opened a couple games. He batted at 6-1 match, so it would be interesting. Like, I know it's not great for someone early in their test career just to be thrown all over the place, but I'd like to see him have a crack at 3. Let's be real, though. Joe Root's coming straight back into there. Well, Joe Root did bat 4 in the last test against South Africa, so that could be up for debate anyway in itself. But yeah, I want to see Crawley given a crack at 3.
He made a nice 40, 43 or something. Or was it? I think he was the top scorer for team Stokes.
Is this Crawley?
Yeah, Crawley.
Yeah, in the first innings.
Yeah. But
Oh no,
anyway.
second. Yeah, Stokes' first innings, second innings of the match. Yeah, you're right there.
And he was facing as you said, the good bowling attack. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's who I'm rolling with at 3, same as you. Now next, I've once again not gone with Denley, but it wouldn't, as we were just saying, wouldn't shock me. I've gone with Dan Lawrence at 4.
Yeah.
He's never played Test cricket, but he is probably one of the most informed English batsmen in the country. He came down to Australia, scored a lot of runs on an England Lions tour, and then he came out in the first innings, as you were saying before, and scored 58. And only fell to James Anderson, as many batsmen have in cricket. So yeah, I'm rolling with him at 4. Are you going the same or not?
Yeah, I would really like to see the Poms give Dan Lawrence a chance here, but I'm not sure if I have faith that they will. But that's who I would want them to pick. So yeah, I've got Lawrence.
Yeah, I'd like to see it, but it has to be said, this West Indies pace attack's pretty good.
Yeah.
So if you're rolling with that top 4, it wouldn't shock me if you're 3 for 20, like on one of the tests, during one of the tests, because they've got some serious pace bowlers.
Yeah, but the West Indies will be 3 for 5, so.
And also, although we're going with a lot of young, inexperienced players, there's not actually many options. Like Denley's probably, Johnny Bairstow, I guess. There are a few of the middle order options who have experience, but all the guys here that I don't have making the team, they're all pretty inexperienced. But yeah, I'm going Dan Lawrence. I think he deserves to be rewarded for his performances in the England line setup. Number 5, this isn't really a choice because he's been announced as captain, so he has to play Ben Stokes. You got Stokes
I've got Stokesy. They'll probably bat him at 5, but I've got him at 6.
Yeah,
but
and then Ollie Pope at 6. I've got.
Yeah, and he's at 5 or 6 for me as well.
Yeah,
so same top 6.
Yeah, he could. That's pretty silly. He could easily. It wouldn't surprise me if they chuck him at 3 or 4, but I think it would be stupid.
Yeah.
Because Root's just going to come in and occupy that spot anyway. So I think he should just stick to 6 for a couple of years. So I don't know what would be the point of just giving him one test experience up there. So I'd like to keep him at 6 for now, or 5. I'm happy with Ben Stokes at 6 and him at 5, but probably means Stokes would have to do a bit more bowling if he's going to be batting at 6. But either way, that's a pretty impressive 5 and 6, probably one of the best in world cricket, I'd say.
Pretty handy.
Yeah. Not much really to say about those two. Ollie Pope's had a fantastic start to his test career.
Yeah. He was brilliant in South Africa.
Yeah, looks very promising. And Ben Stokes, well, he's Ben Stokes. Everyone knows the story of Ben Stokes by now, and he's captain, so it has to be there. Next, this is a tough one because I'm 99% sure Joss Butler's been announced as the vice captain.
Yeah, he has.
Which means he's playing. But I want to see Ben Folkes given a crack. I'm sick of Joss Butler in this test team. He is woeful at test cricket. Now I'm saying this, he'll come out and do a Brad Haddon and score 60 not out of 40 balls against the West Indies. But his test record is just filthy. So I would like to see Ben Folkes given a chance, but I do know that he's the vice captain and he's kind of becoming a stalwart of England cricket in all 3 formats of the game, whether that's deserved or undeserved. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm the same with you. And Folkes everyone says that Folkes is clearly the better wicket keeper out of Butler, Bairstow and him. And then you've got Bairstow and Butler who have offered absolutely nothing with the bat for the last 2 years in test cricket.
Yeah, but Butler has 150 in the last 19 innings. So
that's
continue.
Shocking. So I really want Folkes to play, but as you said, Butler's the vice captain, and I think they will pick Butler. But there's a chance they'll pick both. If our man Dan Lawrence doesn't get a gig, then Butler might bat. You'd shift Pope and Stokes up one place, but that would just be that would be a dreadful batting lineup if we did that.
Yeah, it does have to be said. I don't have the exact figures here, but just looking at his career innings list, he does look to be a lot better at home than he is away. He actually hasn't played home too often, but when he does, he usually is pretty handy, except for the Ashes last year. That was probably his worst series at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's not really one up for debate, sadly, because I do want to see folks given a chance. But yeah, just got to cop Joss Butler here. And then next, now we're into the bowlers. I've got another one. Oh, should we just go a spinner? And we can just say the batting order of the bowlers after. Yeah. So spinner, I've gone Dom Bess. I know Jack Leach or Mark Leach. I don't even get it. He has 2 names.
What's this Mark Leach business, mate?
Mate, that's his name. That's his name. His name is MJ Leach. Mark is
Oh,
his actual first name, but he just called Jack.
that's a joke.
But yeah, so I think Dom Bess should be given a crack. I
Oh,
think
mate,
Jack
it's
Leach.
Matthew, mate.
Oh, Matthew, sorry. Yeah, I just,
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I just guessed that.
that is stupid though. What?
Yeah, but yeah, Matthew Leach. I'm going Dom Bess. What are you going?
Yeah, well, yeah, Bess is clearly a better bowler than Leach.
Yeah,
But there's also Mo and Ali, who offers
yeah,
a bit more batting because our pace bowlers don't really offer much with the bat.
it's true.
But Bess is clearly the best bowler, I reckon. So I'm probably leaning
Yeah.
towards him as well.
Yeah, Morale didn't bowl much in the practice match, which he only bowled 7 overs, where Best bowled 20 and Leach
Yeah,
bowled 15.
and Bess took a
Which,
couple poles, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Which leads me to think that they're the two front runners. But Ali, as you said, is another option who they've gone with in the past. But I'd like to see Best given the crack.
Yep.
He played a match, I think, in South Africa, but he got dropped due to the fact that they just rolled with 4 pace bowlers. But yeah, I want to see Best given a crack. I don't think Leach offers much with the ball. I think he's a pretty nude spinner. Just kind of sends them down with a couple revs. So I'd like to see Best given a crack. Or Matt Parkinson for Dandenong. I don't know if he actually came and played for Dandenong or his brother did. I don't know. But yeah, my older brother knows him, and people around Dandenong know him. So that'd be also cool to see him play. But I don't think he's really much of a chance. But yeah, Mark Wood, I want to see him given a crack.
Mark Wood.
Not Mark Wood, sorry. I was just looking at his name on my spreadsheet. But yeah, Dom Bess. And Dan Lawrence, does he also bowl leg spin?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might.
We'll take it.
Maybe I'm getting confused with like Lewis Gregory or something. But yeah, I think Dan Lawrence bowls a bit of part-time leggies, so he can replace Joe Denley's occasional overs.
Gregory bowls meds, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, you're right there. You're right. So yeah, I'm rolling with Dom Bess over Jack Leach. I know Jack Leach is a cult hero, but I just think in terms of
his bowling stats are woeful.
Yeah, I think I watch this English cricket channel and they kind of take the piss out of England because they say England just get enticed by the phrases he bowls a bit, bats a bit. And I think Jack Leach and Mo Ali fall both into that category.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jack Leach isn't a batsman, but
Yeah.
they both bowl a bit when a bowler should just be picked purely on bowling. And I think sometimes you've just got to forget whether they can bat or not. So for me, Dom Bess is the best spinner of the 3. So I want to see him in, and I've got him batting at 9. So yeah, this brings us down to the 3 paces. Who are you rolling with? This is the toughest in the. Should I read out the list we've got to choose from?
Oh yeah, read out the list, but personally, it was a no-brainer.
We've got Anderson, Wokes, Sam Curran, Stuart Broad, Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, and Craig Overton. They're the front runners. They could if you made a second bowling attack out of that team, that would probably be one of the best bowling attacks in the world.
Yeah,
go with it's insane choice.
We're building a good good bowling.
Well, to be fair, James Anderson's probably about to retire in a minute.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, who are you rolling with?
Well, you can't really not pick Jimmy, Broady, and Archer for me. But
I know. I think Mark Wood should be picked over Jofra on performance, but they will pick Jofra. I know it for a fact. Like, it's not even up for debate.
That's a big call. Big call from you.
I think those listening who just watched. Yeah, but that's that was one series. The other series he's played has been pretty ordinary. Like, those listening will think what I'm saying is outrageous, especially if you've watched the Test documentary. But against New Zealand and South Africa, Jofra Archer was bowling 125 clicks off 5 steps. Like, Shane Watson did that. And he was not taking poles. He was just not offering much at all. So I think Mark Wood would be very stiff to be dropped. I think he will be dropped because I do think it's too tempting to go with Jofra. But Mark Wood was awesome in that South African series. I think he was one of the top wicket takers, and he didn't even play all 3 tests or something like that. And he also he also does a little bit with the bat every now and then. So
he hits a couple bombs.
Yeah, so I would have stuck him in at 8 just for a bit of fun. But yeah, I have written down here that they will pick Jofra, Broad, and Anderson. So yeah, that's disappointing for me. But yeah,
another argument for Wood would be that considering he's fast, he's probably more suited to Australian pitches, so giving him more of a run in prep for the Ashes. There's an argument to be made there, but yeah, I think we'll go with Archer, Broad, and Jimmy.
Yeah. I think Mark Wood's just got to bide his time till Jimmy Anderson goes.
Yeah, but then
it's kind of an
well.
issue. Yeah, then it's once Jimmy Anderson retires, can you have Mark Wood and Jofra in the same team? I don't know, but that's a debate for another time because Jimmy's still there. But yeah, obviously I've got Brody and Anderson at 10 and 11 as well. You can't really not pick either of those two, can you?
Yeah, and they're weapons on home soil. So
yeah, Wokes, Curran, Overton, they're all cracking bowlers in themselves, but they're all just a bit nude. Like they don't offer much. They're probably going to be there to tie down an end, but
Curran offers the left arm variation.
Yeah, but he's just too slow for me. And I don't know. I don't know what these pitches are going to be like, but I think it's been pretty hot in England in the last few weeks, so it might actually be a little bit less green than usual. But England, always can surprise you with an absolute.
It'll be hooping. It'll be hooping.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
So yeah, they'll pick Jofra, but I think it's very stiff on Mark Wood given his South African performances. But yeah, Jofra, Broad, and Anderson's probably the popular pick there. Now is that all we've got to discuss for? Who's coming in when Joe Root? Who's coming out? Sorry, of your team when Joe Root comes in? Say there's no other injuries. They've all done well.
Well, barring potential like performances in the first match, I'll probably withdraw Lawrence.
Yeah.
For Joe Root.
And would you go Root 4?
Root 4, yeah. Crawley 3.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's the way to go. I think, although it's very stiff to drop someone after their first test.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost more stiff to drop someone after like 4 tests. I'm not sure why, because it's like they've got a proper taste of it, where if Lawrence is in there knowing he's just a stopgap for Root for the time being, I think he'd cop.
Well, unless Lawrence comes out and just tons up, then you've got a dilemma.
It could almost be a Lawrence and Crawley showcase, and then whoever does better moves up to 3 and Root comes in at 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how those dominoes fall when it comes time. Who knows? Maybe they turn around to Root and go, "We don't need you, brother. We've won the first test by an innings and 462 runs. Just go enjoy fatherhood. Come back for Pakistan." So now we'll roll on to West Indies before we make our predictions. Who's going to be the top run scorers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Neither of us know too much about this West Indian team. Like we know the names and we know a few of them, but can't say we watched West Indies versus Afghanistan in a test match in October. Well, I wasn't there to watch it, I'll be honest. This West Indies, and they have a squad of 15. They have 10 reserves in their squad, but I'm assuming they can't pick, or they won't pick the players from there.
Yeah,
I don't know why they would be called reserves then. Even though Joshua De Silva, who was in the reserves, probably has been the standout performer in their practice match of Team Holder versus Team Brathwaite.
He was on. Did he turn up?
Yeah.
I did notice that, but I don't think he's in the squad. So
and also I think they gave a lot away in their practice match. One team basically had the batting, and then one team basically had the bowling of like the first choice side. Well, that's what it looked like to me anyway. So they had a squad of 15 openers. There's quite a few options actually. They've played 2 practice matches. Brathwaite, what's his first name? Sean Campbell and Jermaine Blackwood. They're the 3 guys who've opened the most. But to me, it looks like it's going to be Craig Brathwaite and John Campbell. They were the opening pair in their last test series. And they've opened together in the practice match, which would make sense, given that they probably want them to form a combination together. And they had them facing the best fast bowlers. Do you have them as well?
Yeah, I've gone with Brathwaite and John Campbell. Like, I was looking at a few stats and it was a bit yuck, but Brathwaite's a shoe-in, and then
Brathwaite is a shoe-in.
Yeah, I think that will go with Campbell.
Yeah, I don't think even though quite a few people have opened in the practice games, Shane Mosley and Joshua De Silva, they're in the reserves. Jason Holder opened 1 innings, but I think that's just because they wanted him to bat for longer time, still failed. and then Jermaine Blackwood's never batted higher than 6. So that I think that was just random. So I think these are really the two only openers in
Yeah,
this
I must admit, I didn't
squad.
think Blackwood was an opener, but
Yeah, no, he's not. Yeah, he's only batted 6 and 7 for the Test team, and then in the recent first class West Indian Championship, he's been batting a bit of 3 for Jamaica, and
yeah,
he's actually like the top run scorer in the comp. So I think that's why they maybe gave him a crack at opening, but I don't think it's for him. So yeah, I think it's going to be Craig Brathwaite and John Campbell. John Campbell actually made quite a few runs in that competition at the start of the season, and Craig Brathwaite on his day can be a pretty gritty opener, and might. Well, I don't know if he'll be able to handle this hooping nut of Broad and Anderson, but he might, put in a bit of a performance here or there. Number 3, who have you gone?
yeah. Well, I've actually gone with Jermaine Blackwood at number 3.
Yeah, I've got him at 4. But he has been batting at 3 for Jamaica,
Yeah,
and I think he batted at 3 in a couple innings of the 2 practice matches. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. He's in very handy nick. I think his last 4 innings in that first class tournament in the Caribbean, he scored 350s in a century. I think it was a double ton as well. So he's in very good nick.
not bad.
Don't think he converted it to the practice games, but yeah, I've got him at 4. You've got him at 3. Who I've got Shamar Brooks at 3. He's in pretty bad form actually, but he was their number 4 against Afghanistan, and he kind of just seems like he just gets the gig for some reason. I've never watched him play. Maybe he's good to watch or something, but yeah, he was the only person to bat 3 in all the innings of the practice games. So yeah, I think Shamar Brooks will be rocking in at 3. Just quietly, this West Indies, same for England to be fair, except for James Anderson. This West Indies team is very young. I think the oldest person is like 31. There's a lot of young dudes. I think Shamar Brooks is very young. So yeah, I've got Jermaine Blackwood at 4. Who have you got at 4, mate?
Yeah, at 4 I've got Shea Hope.
Yeah. Now, I'll be honest. I didn't realize how bad he was. His test average is 27.
Yeah, but
Are you trying to pull my leg?
surely they pick him.
Yeah, he'll be picked 100%. He's like one of 3 players, I think, to be picked in the last test of the last series they had in England and this test against Afghanistan. So he's pretty much a shoo-in. He's just, even if you don't look at the stats, you watch him bat and you think he's one of the best batsmen in the world. Very classy to watch. I think he should drop down the order a bit personally because he's been struggling of late. I know they've had some tough series, like they've played India in India, which is not easy for any team, let alone the West Indies. So for me, I wouldn't mind seeing him drop down to 5 or 6 or even 7, and see if he can try and regain some form, especially with the likelihood if he bats at 4 that he might be in early against the swinging nut on green tops, which probably wouldn't be great for his confidence. But in saying that, his last time in England, he scored 200s. And he was by far the best batsman in that series, I'm pretty sure. I think he was the top run scorer for both sides. So that probably maybe instills a bit of confidence in him and the selectors to pick him. I've also got him as keeper. I don't know what's happening with Shane Dowrich, who's the other keeper in the squad, but he didn't actually play in the second practice game. He was listed in one of the teams, but he didn't bat in either innings and he didn't keep. So, and Shai Hope played for his team and was the keeper. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if he's out of favour or maybe he had a niggle or he was ill. I don't know. But I've given Shai Hope the gloves to allow me to get another batsman in there because Shane Dowrich sucks at batting. I think he averaged 4. He played every test in the England series in 2017 and he averaged 4. So, yeah, he did all right in that first class tournament. I think he was averaging 38 or something. But yeah, I've given Shai Hope the gloves. Who do you have at 5?
Yeah, so at 5 I've gone with Shamar Brooks, your man. But
Okay,
I must
yeah.
say, with the middle order, I'm not really convinced on what the actual order is going to be because they can all really.
Yeah.
But I think I've got him at 5 because he's the least experienced.
Yeah. Well, Blackwood could go anywhere from opening to 7.
Yeah.
or even 8, depending on where Jason Holder bats. And then there's a guy who I don't have in my team. I don't know about you. His name's like I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to pronounce NK, but I'll just go silent. And Kruma Bonner, he averaged 65 in eight matches in that first class tournament. And he, same thing as Blackwood, he bats anywhere from 3 to 6. So very hard to predict. At 5, I've gone Roston Chase. He's kind of been one of the locks in this West Indian team of late, although his stats aren't great. He only averages like 32 in Test cricket or something. When England went to the West Indies 18 months ago, I think he was by far the West Indies' best player. I think he bowls a bit of leg spin as well, which I think
part-time.
he might have taken a 5 for in some Test match. But yeah, no, he was pretty impressive in that series actually. So I've got him in at 5. Who have you got at 6?
Yeah, I've got Chase at 6, and he's going to be the front
so
line.
we've got the exact same team
for my side.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because the West Indies will favour their pace.
Yeah, it's true. Like, you may as well. I don't think a West Indian, their selection of spinners isn't great, let's be honest.
Yeah.
In their squad, they actually have no spinner. Like, all their spinners are listed as all-rounders. So, yeah. I've gone Jason Holder at 7.
Yep.
He's in awful form with the bat, but
hang on, who have you got at 6?
Shy Hope.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yep.
Yeah, and then so we've got the exact same top 6, just all shuffled around.
Yeah.
I've got Jason Holder at 7. He's in shocking form with the bat. In 4 innings, in those four 2 trial matches that they played against each other, I don't think he scored more than 5. They opened him. He got like 2. He came out at like 8 one game, got a golden duck, and he just cannot score runs. And even in the last couple of tests they've played, he's been in awful form. So I'll be honest, I think his title as like an all-rounder probably might be rescinded soon to just a bowler who can bat, like a Pat Cummins type, because it kind of is starting to seem like he just had one good year with the bat and now he's just a bowler. But yeah, he'll be in at 7. I can't see him dropping any lower. He's the captain of the team, legend of, not a legend, but he's been like the stalwart of this side in the last 5 seasons. So yep. I can't see him dropping any lower than 7. But yeah, he'll be their skipper of the side. Have you got him at 7 as well?
Yeah, I've got him at 7 as well. He's a great player, and I think he's locked in at 7.
Yeah, so 8.
No-brainer.
Yeah, so 8, even though Roston Chase is going to bowl quite a few overs, you'd think, in terms of like relative to the other spinners, I've actually gone Rakeem Cornwall. I haven't done it for a joke. I have not done it for a joke.
Mate, that's a meme.
No, it's not. It's not. It's a real pick. He was the spinner in the Afghanistan Test match, and he played in the Indian series. And he did really well there, as most people. Well, not all people do. I know Shane Warne and Nathan Lyon have had their struggles over there. But yeah, Rakeem Cornwall did pretty well in India, and I think he took like 7 for against Afghanistan or something. So yeah, I'm rolling in with him at 8. He can also bat a bit, which will help because I'm not sure about how sturdy this top 6 is for West Indies, if I'm honest. Who do you have at 8?
Yeah, so I'm straight into the. Oh no, sorry, Shane Darrich.
Oh, okay.
Shane Darrich today as my.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably more likely than Shea Hope getting the gloves, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about their keeping situation, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
but...
Darrich is crap, but I almost wouldn't mind him getting picked because that means Shea Hope can just focus on his batting, which I think, given the fact that he's out of form, would help him.
Yeah.
So now into the 3 pace bowlers. If you've read the squad correctly, I don't think we can really differ here. I've gone Alzari Joseph at 9, Kemar Roach at 10, Shannon Gabriel at 11.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Joseph, he is like 22. He's very impressive.
He's been in good form.
Yeah, Shane Thomas was kind of the wonder boy in West Indian pace bowling, and then Joseph was just like, yeah, cop, I'm better than you, mate. So he's going to be, these are locks, I don't care. These are the 3 pace bowlers rolling into this. Jason Holder's going to be the 4th quick. Shannon Gabriel got added to the squad actually from the reserves following. He took something ridiculous. I actually don't know. I think he took 5 for in one of the innings of the practice matches, but
yeah,
in the 4 innings he's bowled in combined over those 2 practice matches, he has some insane tally of wickets. It's like 14 or something. So they had to promote him. Kemar Roach has been similar to Jason Holder, Shea Hope, Brathwaite. He's been one of those few players to be in this side, test in, test out. So he'll be there. He'll actually probably do bits on these in the English decks. He usually does do pretty well. If the bowling conditions give him a little bit, he's always been a great talent. And then Shannon Gabriel. Oh, we mentioned Shannon Gabriel. So they're the 3 basically.
Yeah, it's a good looking pace attack, I have to say.
Yeah, it could do a bit of damage to that top order, to be honest.
And yeah, England has a pretty inexperienced top order, so
yeah,
could be in for a few two-day specials. Just both teams being rolled.
Yeah, if there's an overs and unders market on runs, I think I'd be putting my life savings on the unders. I don't think there's going to be too many runs scored. I'd be surprised if any team scores more than 350, which is generally the case in England anyway, but could be even more extreme with these sides, especially in the first test with no Joe Root. So that's our sides done. It was kind of weird because I wanted to just pick who I wanted to pick based on statistics, but then at the same time, I kind of had to think about who they would pick as well. Like I could just pick randos from county cricket who weren't the squad. So that's our team. We actually have pretty similar sides, really.
I think we only had one difference across the whole entire thing.
The only I had differences in the England team, but I know they're not going to happen. Like I had Folkes and Wood, but I know.
Oh yeah, you had Wood.
I know for a fact it's going to be Butler and Archer.
Yeah,
and then I had Cornwall and you had Dowich. So that's who we're rolling with. It's hard to say, obviously, but who are you rolling with as England's top run scorer for this 3-match series, mate?
England's top run scorer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to roll with Ben Stokes, just the man, the hero, just because of what he's produced over the last couple of years now. I think Ollie Pope, I'm hoping will give him a run for his money, but I can't see the top 4 dipping into that, and then Root's missing a game, so
and also I think Stokesy has a big advantage coming in at 5. I would not want to be facing this pace attack with the new ball. I've got a feel for Sibley and whoever they pick opening the batting. Although Rory Burns showed in the Ashes he's a very gritty player, he's willing to cop a few on the body, get like in behind those. Well, he doesn't really get in behind; he just freaking slashes at those hook shots. But he'll have a crack, is what I'm saying. So it wouldn't shock me if he was up there in the runs. But the thing is, I'm not going to pick Rory Burns because we don't even know if he's playing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go safe here. I'll pick Stokesy. I think Pope, as you were saying, they're definitely the 2 favourites because they're basically the only ones we know who are playing. And I think Pope, although he's shown, like in county cricket and stuff, that he's great on English decks, he's a big shot maker. So I'd be fearing that he might chase a couple early on in his innings if they're green tops like they usually are in England, where Stokesy's a bit more gritty.
Yeah.
And if they're like 2 for 20 or 3 for 40 or whatever, when Stokes comes in, it wouldn't surprise me if he just buckles down, puts on some runs. So yeah, I'll go Stokesy as well. England's top wicket taker. I'm going to go Stuart Broad just because I don't think Anderson has the overs in him. And I don't know why I'm not picking Jofra, but I've got no logic there, really. I think it's just a choice between Jofra, Broad, and Anderson, isn't it? It's just a toss of the coin, really.
Yeah, what about Mark Wood, mate?
He's not playing.
Dom
He's
Betts.
not playing. He's not playing, mate.
Yeah, well, you picked him.
Yeah, but I know he's not playing.
I'm going with Jofra Archer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Based off what he did on the English decks last year against Australia, absolutely.
So you're expecting him to full come out bowl 150 again?
Absolutely. Oh,
I'm excited. I'm excited if he does that.
Like it'll take him a couple of spells to get right into it, but
come back from that injury, obviously.
I'm hoping he does. So I'm going.
The only thing against Jofra, I think he might bowl a lot less overs this time because Joe Root's been well, obviously he's not playing the first test, but the England leadership has been ridiculed in the media for how much they bowled Jofra, and they were basically saying that they were at fault for his injury. So it wouldn't surprise me if they go very light on with his overs.
Yeah, Stokes, he might have to chop out a bit more if that's the case.
Yeah, and Jimmy's, in a wheelchair, so that's
Jimmy,
why I'm going. That's why I'm going broad. Just
Broady might have to carry the load. You're right, but
yeah, and
Joffrey will still get bulk overs.
yeah, and I think James Anderson can play 3 tests without taking absolute poles. It would shock me. Any 3 of them, any of the 3.
Yeah,
Dom Best firmly sitting in 4th favourite.
Family
Maybe in 5th behind Stokesy, maybe 6th behind Dan Lawrence bowling part-time leggies.
Yeah.
All right, so now onto the West Indies. Top run score. I mean, come on. I'm going to go someone lower down the order because I wouldn't want to face Broader Anderson with the new nut as Dave Warner saw last winter.
So you'd rather face Jofra?
Fuck yeah, baby. Nah, obviously I don't want to face anyone, but just with the hooping nut, very tough conditions. No logic here. I'm just going to back in our boy Shy Hope. I know that's probably just the most simple non-West Indian fan thing to do because he's the biggest name in that batting order. But yeah, I'll go Shy Hope. He showed a lot on his last tour of England, so I'll back him in to just be a green top demon, and he's going to score 400 runs.
Oh, 400's a bit of a stretch there, mate.
Are you going the
same?
same?
Yeah, I'm locking in Shay Hope as well. Coming in, I think I had him at number 3. But either way, I'm locking him in.
I had him at number 6, so hopefully if you not outs, actually not outs don't even count towards most runs.
Yeah.
Then Wickets. Oh, this is a tough one, actually. Probably once again, just a toss-up between the 3 pacies. This is hard. Shannon Gabriel is the man in form, but he's probably the worst of the 3 in terms of skill.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kemar Roach.
Yeah, mate, we're just being the most like we're just being simps.
Yeah, but let's be real.
We're just picking the only blokes we know.
Let's be real though, it's gonna be Roach.
Yeah, Alzari Joseph's still young. He still sprays him a bit. So yeah I'll go Kemar Roach, closely followed by Gabriel.
It's not going to be Cornwall, is it, mate? So
no, he's bowling 4 overs in the whole series. He's running the drinks for the second and third test after he goes for 100 off 4 overs. Mate, what was with all the spinners getting smacked in the practice game between Butler and Stokes? Yeah, and then the second innings, all the spinners came out and just took poles. I reckon what they were doing when they got to 30 or 40, they were just saying, go for it. Because, there are a couple, Stokes got stumped on 40. I was like, oh, that's not happening. I was like, yeah, he's taking the piss there. So, yeah, that's all we've got for today in terms of the content. Really looking forward to the series, actually. Picking these teams got me pumped. Now I'm fully back in tune with both these sides. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm keen for it. I'm thinking a whitewash.
Let's predict our series. You're going 3-0 England. Surprise.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be any draws, as we earlier mentioned. Yeah, I just can't see the West Indies snagging any. It would be an England thing to do to lose to the West Indies, get skilled with 80, but
yeah, it would. We lost to them in 2018 over there when Holder scored 200 or whatever, but
yeah, I'll back the English boys in. I don't think the West Indian batsmen have what it takes to face Archer, Broad and Anderson for 60 overs a day. So good luck to them.
Whitewash?
Yeah. Look, it's only 3, so it's probably not an outrageous call. So yeah, we're going to be back at you again. I think at the end of the 3 tests, we might do a mid-series review. Who knows? So we'll both be watching this intently. Go follow our Twitter, On The Ball Twitter. You can find it through my Instagram or anywhere that I post stuff about this podcast. We will be doing live tweets throughout the test series, as I do for all sport that I watch. And yeah, so looking forward to it. Pakistan test series following this one with the West Indies. I'm sure we'll do a similar type video and episode for you for that series. Will be interesting. because Pakistan got quite a few new players coming around. Well, but I don't know. I haven't done much research into the Pakistan team, but they're actually not too bad at the moment. They've got a couple handy batsmen, mainly in Bubba. But yeah, good luck to the West Indies for this. I
Yeah,
don't
they'll need
have
it, mate.
much faith in them. I don't have much faith in them at all. So yeah, it's 5:25. So we've got some good games of who's footy? Collingwood, Essendon.
Collingwood, Essendon, yeah.
Who are you backing? Who are you backing in?
Expecting the Pies to get up there, but
60k win for the Pies.
they're always close between the Bombers and the Pies. Although it's not Anzac Day today.
Essendon seem to just play close matches no matter who they play.
Yeah, and it's also pretty wet out there, so scoring.
That's actually a great point.
Low scoring affair.
Yeah, and it's at the G, so no roof. And then the NRL, I don't even know who's playing. Oh, Parramatta and the Cowboys and St. George and the Raiders, two pretty average games on paper.
Expect the Raiders to get up by 38.
Oh, I don't know. Their attack's been woeful of late, but they need to bounce back, and it's their first game back in Canberra, which will help their cause.
Surely they go in as...
They should win,
yeah.
Yeah, St. George are one of the worst sides, so they should win easy there, and Parramatta should win easy there as well, but we'll find out. Thanks for joining me, as always, mate.
No worries, mate. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, also, just quickly, Man United honing in on that fourth spot.
We are. It's good to see. It's good to see.
Only 2 points back now. Chelsea shirking.
Yeah, they've absolutely shirked that against the Hammers, but...
Yeah, and Liverpool have shirked themselves. Oh, well, we've got the trophy. But that was always going to happen. But yeah, anyway. Thanks for joining me, Pilch, and the listeners, both of you. Great blokes. And then, yeah, we'll have episodes coming at you. As always, exams are almost over, so expect heaps of content, not only podcasts, but also tweets and Instagram stories and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure what the next episode is. I'd have to check, but yeah, tune in. It will be posted on Tuesday, so look forward to it. Thanks for joining me, Pilch.
Cheers, boys.